Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house. Another edition. Look at a happy New Year to everybody. 2023. We're off and running now. Back in the studio. Things are good. We got a music show to get us rolling today. Out of New Hampshire, Dan Fallon and Patrick Knott, our guests.
Well, I woke up late this morning with a pounding in my head. Still hung over from the night before, and there's a strange woman in my bed. She rolled on over and she looks at me, and this is what she said. She said, it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done. Well, I jumped out of bed and I grabbed my clothes and went heading for the door. Not knowing where I needed to go, I just know I needed something more. Down the steps and into the streets, just trying to make that score. And they tell me that it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done. Sold my soul to Satan for a price that was too cheap. The devil showed me what I thought was love. Now there's coals burning at my feet. Oh, the woman got away with everything. She left me here to pay. I'm sitting here just burning away, wishing someone would say that it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done. Well, it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done. In the beginning, he created the poets. He made them all right. Next he created man. He forced us all to fight. No matter whose side you're on, you know it's hard to see the light. And they tell me that it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done. Well, it's all right now. Well, it's all said and done.
Woo! Off and running, first music show of the new year. Very exciting. Dan Fallon, hello. Patrick Knott, hey guys.
Hey, how's it going?
First timers on the show, very exciting.
Yes,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thanks for coming in. So, what do we need to know about you guys? I love having first timers on. It's one of my favorite things.
Well, there's a lot to know about us.
Yeah,
That
start
song-
from the beginning. No.
Okay. When I was a little baby, I wanted to be a dinosaur, and that song has a cool background to it. Is that okay if I bring that up?
absolutely.
Oh, sure,
Can I
yeah.
tell, would it be okay?
So
Yeah.
I did.
So you wrote this one?
I wrote this
Okay.
song. I wrote it sitting on a post in the middle of nowhere, Iraq. I did 8.5 years in the Marine Corps.
Oh, wow.
And I had a little backpacker acoustic guitar, and then I found another one over there. And we're right on the Jordanian border, like middle of nowhere. You can't even like find another bass within hours of us. So I had my guitar, and me and my buddy would sit out and jam every night, and that's kind of what came out of it. And
Wow.
you just sat there, just sitting on a post. I used to do like 12 hours straight on post, and like by yourself. So you like solitary confinement. You can't listen to music because you got to watch your posts. Can't do anything. So I sat up there and watched my posts and like try to write lyrics and stuff. So to try to keep myself relatively sane.
Yeah, just keep
Yeah.
the brain going a little bit,
keep
right?
the brain going.
Man, well, Patrick Knott, thank you for your service, first of all.
Thank you.
Man, what a story that is. So, 12-hour stints. That's seems like that shouldn't be allowed. Eh?
We were down to bare bones minimum, and it's just the way it was. They kept taking guys to put in other platoons and
Yeah.
manning the port of entry into Iraq. And you got to guard your posts. You got to man the port to come in. You got to do foot patrols. And there were days that you would go like hours and hours and hours without sleep. Like little to no showers sometimes. But, you know, it is what it is. It definitely learned stuff about yourself. So
I bet.
some good music came out of it. So it's not
How
all
about that?
bad. I can take it.
Did you? I don't want to gloss over the other part. Did you say you found a guitar?
So another guy had one
Okay.
that was leaving, and that's kind of a cool story. He saw me with my little backpacker, and he's like a first sergeant, way higher ranking than I was, and he's like, I'm like, can I buy that guitar? And he's like, yeah, when I leave in a month, I'll sell it to you for a few bucks. And he heard me play, and at the end, he's like, here you go, man, I'm going to give you the guitar. I'm going to sign my name, my rank, and the dates of my deployment. You just find somebody else to do the same thing. We'll
Wow.
just pass this guitar through Iraq. So who knows if it's still over there?
Wow.
Pass around base and how many signatures are on it. But
Wow.
yeah, it was an old beat up Jansen, and then I wrote my parents a handwritten letter, and they sent me out like 6 packs of strings, and a month later I was all set and ready to go. So,
Really? Your parents actually must have loved that. That's probably like, okay, he's found something that.
absolutely. Like, we'll get that out right away.
Do you remember who you passed the guitar to?
I don't
Yeah.
even remember the unit that relieved us anymore. It's everything was kind of hectic, and
Yeah.
it was like, who plays music? And this guy's like, I do. I'm like, here you go. Like, they were getting off, we were getting on the plane or the bus, and they were getting back on. So I was like, oh, you play? Great, man. Here you go. Sign it. Make sure you pass this off to the next guy.
Wow.
So,
Well, did not see that story coming. That's a good. That's a good start. Good. Well, thank you for facilitating that one, Dan. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Stumble upon those stories all the time. Well, very cool, and a great song to get us going. First music show of the new year too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. An honor.
Second show, I think, but first music show.
sure.
You'll hold that distinction for all of 2023. Good job.
awesome.
All right. So, Dan, you are from Laconia.
Yes.
Lovely Lakes. I guess the Lakes region. I don't know. Is that what they call
Very
it?
watery region.
Very watery region.
Yeah, love
Good music. You do a lot of playing up there. You just cross the border. What?
Yeah. I lived in Andover for years, and then when I moved to Laconia, I've been playing more than ever. Actually,
Yeah.
So it's really great. I playing solo. I have a funk like reggae band and we do a lot of originals too. And Dan Fallon band, super fan. I got to plug Gemini Music Studios, which is the music studio that my buddy horn player owns and runs. He teaches out of there.
Oh, cool.
And then I met Patrick a few months ago.
Really? Just a few months?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys, I would have guessed longer chemistry.
Me too. Actually,
Yeah.
that's why I said.
Yeah.
"Hell
Yeah. I guess I should say good. Such good chemistry.
Yeah,
I would have guessed longer stint for you guys.
But yes,
Yeah.
we're playing in a band, Apothecary, which is a reggae band, and we actually have a gig coming up at the American Legion in Seabrook on
the 14th.
On the 14th.
Okay.
That'll be our first gig of the new year.
Gotcha.
Which would be very cool. When I of course I said, oh, I gotta
Gotta bring the guitar player with them.
How did it start? Did you go to a show and see him? Or?
So we've been putting this thing together, me and the drummer Luke, for.
And Pat, let me just have you lean in just a little bit. I just want to make sure. Thanks, appreciate it.
About over a year now, we've been trying to put this thing together.
Yeah.
It's, you know how it works in the music industry, and people trying to meet and whatnot. And
Yeah.
it works for a show, then somebody leaves, somebody gets mad about something, and somebody doesn't want to show up anymore. So we, like all musicians, put everything out on Craigslist still. That's still the #1 meetup.
Is it really Craigslist? Yeah.
It is. Luke put out an ad, and we found our keyboard player, and then Dan, we needed a singer. So Dan comes in and absolutely rips up the set list singing. And then one day I couldn't show up because I was either working or was sick, I think. And he sat in on my amp and played. And my other buddy Sam was like, dude, Dan's unreal. No. So he's like, and that was the first time Sam had played with Dan. So we just kind of rolled everything. So now he plays the acoustic. Me and Sam are on electric guitars. Ed plays an absolutely unreal set of keys.
Killer.
Bass players, like we got guys kind of rotating in right now until that's officially filled. Luke's a killer drummer, and we got this guy Nils that runs like a DJ stand. So we've got like all sorts of stuff.
Got a full production.
It's like reggae based, like jamming. Like we've got a lot of like Grateful Dead, Allman Brothers blues influence, but there's a big reggae kind of like undertone to everything. So
nice.
It's a super fun project. Like I played in classic rock bands and jammy band. Like this is a nice combination of everything. So
it's so much fun, and it's very infectious.
Yeah.
Is it a whole different experience when you guys go out as like a duo? And is it kind of sometimes refreshing? I mean, bands are great, we know that, but is it sometimes refreshing to let's strip some of this stuff down? And
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool to do this, and then you go into the band set.
Yeah.
We had the full band there last night for practice, and there's a lot of pieces, so it forces somebody like me as the lead guitar player, which is cool, to like sit back. I don't have to carry all the strumming of the chords. Now I can kind of go on like Jerry Garcia runs and like fills and concentrate on some of filling that tone out, because Sam's an awesome rhythm guitar player, and then when you got the acoustics underneath it, everyone seems to just want to stay in their pocket, which just opens the whole thing up. It's a lot of fun. It's like one of the most fun bands I've played in.
I agree. It's one of the most fun. I know you're hosting the Seabrook Idol.
I am, yes. No, I'm not hosting. I'm judging.
You're judging.
Yes.
You're judging.
Our friend Jay Pasaros does a great job with the hosting.
Jay's hosting.
Yeah.
So you
guys know Jay? Did we talk about it? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody knows
He's
Jay.
Famous. Everybody knows.
I know. He's once you start opening for like Three Dog Night for multiple tours, you're officially famous.
He's incredibly awesome.
Yeah.
If you can maybe swing back out, we'll probably be playing into the late night hours.
We got the hall rented out and everything. It's gonna be a good
a lot of friends and family.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Kicking it off hard.
Yeah, kicking off hard. It'll be it's very good. It's a really good vibe. The whole group. It's really something. And I'm like, I was thinking, I'd like to do a little more reggae, and I was thinking this would be a little bit much if I sang like with another band or something like that. Yeah. And then immediately I was like, oh my god, this is the place. This is the place to be. It's like it's just such a good vibe.
Nice. So there you go. You guys are getting ready for your first show of the year. Too. Well, actually, it'll be the second now. This technically counts. This counts as a first.
This is a great first.
Very good. Again, our guest here today, Dan Fallon, Laconia, New Hampshire, Patrick Knott, Seabrook, New Hampshire. These guys singing some songs together for us today. Our first music show of the year, and my crew: Sarah Blackstone, Ryan Rothberg, Sarah Hayden, the usual suspects here, our small but mighty crew in Newburyport that do such a great job for us. Thank you guys, and Happy New Year to you as well. New Hampshire has a pretty good music scene, I have been finding. I mean, New Hampshire is a big place, of course, but we're here in Newburyport. We're like 15 minutes you can get across the border, not even, depending on where you're going. But I find that whether it be Portsmouth or I mean, you're playing up in Laconia. That's it. I don't know that region as well, but I see a lot of happening spots. It seems like New Hampshire seems to be kind of thriving in live music. Is that true?
I really think so. Yeah, it's really something.
Yeah, I mean, you go down to the beach in the summertime, man. Every single place there has
Hampton Beach. I didn't even mention that.
Has somebody there. Yeah. You get the bigger people at Wally's and Bernie's, but like everywhere you go has like you could sit right on L Street and go from Wally's, the Goat, to L Street to Bernie's and listen to like 5 distinctly different people, and it's like
I have been told from musicians who come through there that that is the whoever the owners are. I think there's only maybe a few owners for a lot of those places, but they all of them have this thing that like we don't really care about too much, but we do care that there's live music all the time, and that's like top of the list, which I was like, wow, that's like a really cool spot. I don't think I realized that until a few years ago. But
and you got everywhere. I mean, you got Red's always putting up music. I mean, right here across the border, Chop Shop still always has good tunes. I mean, you go up to Portsmouth.
Was it like this way before the pandemic? It feels more to me.
I feel like it's an explosion.
Yeah,
I do. I think people are all like ready, like back back
Yeah.
in action and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome to
I
see.
bet owners in these restaurants, I bet they got sick of seeing nothing going on at their place. I
Probably.
bet they realized how much they missed it, you
Yeah.
know? So maybe it took a pandemic to...
There have been some like magical gigs too. The first gig that I played after, it was like the first gig I played in a really long time. And people went absolutely. You would have thought it was like a Motley Crue concert. It was
Really?
like,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa! People went absolutely crazy, and I think it's all bottled up and just
Yeah.
people really enjoying engaging with people, and that's why it's like it's a good time to be a musician too. You know.
Yeah.
And you know, because it's really validating. You know, and people are just, I don't know, coming up to you all the time. Just, that was awesome, you know.
Yeah.
And everything's out the window, too. So, like, the last several gigs, I've played any request that's been... just, you know what I mean?
No, angry at
Literally.
no request. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Plus,
just
I think
any...
everyone's coming out of the gate guns blazing. They, spent so much time
Yeah.
isolated. It's like, what else did you have to do than play a guitar when you were sitting around? It's like
Yeah.
people are like practiced up
That's
too.
it.
Yeah, you
That
think-
is a really
Musicians are
good
like
point.
all.
Yeah. Yes.
like,
I've heard a lot of that.
They hit.
Yeah.
I mean, there are songs people would have never even attempted before. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like people, they'll bust them out on an acoustic night with a pedal board, by themselves. And normally they're just singing, like kind of country style songs.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
coming out like super energy.
Better musicians. I've heard that, yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did. I mean,
Yeah.
I figure if I did it,
Yeah.
most other people that had an instrument to do it feel like I can't go anywhere.
12 hours on the post day after day wasn't enough to be... No,
Hey,
that was a lot of writing. I get it.
I came back from Iraq probably a better guitar player than I went there. It's the only thing I had to do in the time off.
Yeah.
So
That's a funny story to say. I think it's I don't know what the word is, but that's
It's very interesting.
It is. It's a
Very
fascinating
intriguing.
story.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I get all your music out there, boys. So what's next on the?
I was just to give a quick shout out. There's the New Hampshire Music Collective. John McCarthy is going to listen to. He actually works with some of the artists that you had.
Oh, cool.
He's like doing a really good job up where I live and all over the place. But he's basically extremely passionate. He like bleeds music.
Yeah.
And helping artists, and he helps me out a lot. Actually, I got my first BMI royalty check in my life.
Wow.
After sitting with them for a couple of days. I'm like, oh, is that how you do it? I was like, wow, okay.
This is the business part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but he books, and there are some artists. I mean, he has them that are full time, and he's booking them like almost every day.
Wow,
It's
yeah.
really something. So he's a great guy. He has a great group behind him. But just there's so many nice people, and he Concord. It's really different because when I was in Boston before pandemic,
Yeah.
it was murder to get a gig sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I'll ask somebody, hey, where do you think I can play with the band? Oh, why don't you talk to my friend? I'm like, oh, what do they do? Oh, they own this place over there that this ale house that you can go and play.
Yeah,
at.
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, and it's fun,
Yeah.
But it's really something. Actually, I've never played out this much ever.
Well, there you
it's
go.
Kind of wild, yeah. So.
So you guys are busy. Well, thank you for making time for us with the busy schedules. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
Yeah.
Dan Fallon and Patrick Knott. You guys want to go right into it? Or does it need an explainer? Or you
This one, nope. This is self-explanatory. Yeah.
play on? I like it. Dan Fallon, Patrick Knott, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
I pour coffee in my cream and my sugar so I get it right. And I think about the good love you gave me in the night. I said I thank you for your time, thank you for your service. No doubt in my mind I don't deserve it, but it feels so good to be alive. Said it feels so good to be alive. Oh, it feels so good to be alive. Where we're going, I don't know, but I don't mind. Said it feels so good to be alive. from the sun in your body when you share all your light. And strength comes from inside us when you know how to treat everybody just right. Said I thank you for your time, thank you for your service. No doubt in my mind, I don't deserve it, but it feels so good, feels so good to be alive. I said it feels so good to be alive. Oh, it feels so good, feels so good to be alive. I said where we're going, I don't know, but baby, I don't mind. I said it feels so good to be alive, yeah. We're here for the good and the bad, and the fun and the fights. When it's all settled down in the night, girl, tell me everything you like. It's alright. Baby, I thank you for your time. Thank you for your service. You're so fine. I don't deserve it, but it feels so good. Feels so good to be alive. Said it feels so good. Feels so good to be alive. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. When the cold wind blows, hold me close and I won't cry. Oh, it feels so good. Feels so good to be alive. Yes.
I feel alive in the studio in Newburyport here. Very, Dan, Fallon, Patrick, Knott, very nice. You guys sounding great in here.
That's another one that we work up with the band. So the last two are ones that we can break down like this. And,
Yep.
You throw the whole band and everybody's singing in the band too, which is awesome. I mean, even the drummer will put a headset on from time to time to sing background vocals.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, the band has a lot to live up to, boys. You guys do quite well on your own, you two. Very good, very good. Well, that's where's that song come from? Is that the recent one or an old one?
Yeah, just a few weeks ago I wrote that.
Oh, really?
one. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know.
You walked into band practice with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
He's like, hey, check this out. Hold on. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we can mess with this.
Nice.
100%.
Does he always have the big smile when he has one, or?
yeah.
I got a winner.
I think everyone walks into practice though like,
Yeah.
oh my God, we're here, ready to get down and play. It's never a bad night to
Yeah, practice is fun.
practice. Yeah, I'm a firefighter by trade. I work in Amesbury on the fire department.
Oh, okay.
As a paramedic, it gets busy and stuff. Like this is my off time. Like music, my fun thing.
Yeah.
Our last singer, he just I guess couldn't find the fun in it. He was always like, well, practice is on my day off, and I'm like, well, you can't practice on your day on, so it's like, how can you be miserable coming to band practice? It's supposed to be a ton of fun, and for me it is. And I mean, Dan brings that out. I mean, he comes in with a smile on his face, plugs in, we're ready to go, and he's got original material, and then I've got riffs, and we sit and write stuff together now. And it's been a while. It's always been cover bands and just kind of jamming in the basements and trying to write your own stuff, but to actually get together with some people and put some original stuff down is pretty exciting.
Well, it's fun watching you guys because you'll be singing, and I've noticed you're still kind of playing with some stuff. You're kind of watching to see exactly where he goes, and I can go here. It's kind of I can see. I bet it's different every time if you were to do it right now a little bit. Maybe some
100%.
Yeah, that keeps it fun too.
I mean, that's what the live music thing is.
Yeah, Yeah, you got to be bit by. I feel like it's as much as a love. It's an obsession. It's like, it's something. You know, it's like because my day off, I'd be like, how am I going to practice for 10 hours? You know what I mean? It's like it's messed up. You know,
it is a little in a good way.
In a good way. Yeah. Definitely.
I would. Side note, is a fire department a popular place for a guitar player? I would think
it is.
Okay.
There's a guitar that sits on top of my locker. So at night, if like after dinner and whatnot, take it down and make up songs about like whatever the stupidity of the day is. Keep people laughing. I'll go,
take requests from the rest.
Do parodies on people. And,
I bet there's a lot of that.
Take some requests, and it's a good morale booster always.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fun. Again, Dan Fallon, Patrick Knott on here playing some songs as the duo, and then you can go experience the band. We should get your info too. Do you get a website you like to drive people to, or
we for Apothecary, there's a Facebook site. It's the Apothecary or the Apothecary Band. But if you go to danfallonmusic.com, I'll have you see everything, and they'll see all the gigs that we have coming up.
Keep it up to date and all that.
Yeah.
How about the Instagram or
Instagram?
Everything's being worked on now.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a tech guy, and most of the other guys that we play with are illiterate when it comes to it. And we had a Facebook page that's just had the name on. I mean, you're not going to get stuff nowadays. You need it all. So we've got pictures and stuff, and Dan's been working on it for us.
They just enlisted me as the tech guy.
You're the tech guy. There you go.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dan.
But Dan Fallon Music too. So everything will be posted on Dan Fallon Music, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Dan Fallon Music,
Cool. It is good. It's fun. It's funny, musicians in the artsy world, a lot of them avoid the whole Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. They just don't want to go there. And I think even the most stubborn ones, I think they've even realized, like, got to do something there.
No one's booking you if they can't see you.
Right.
They want to be able to see what you guys, how you've played before, how the crowds look and everything. They need to know that you're not walking in with a busted guitar, busted voice.
True.
It's good to, no one wants to feel like as narcissistic as it can really get, probably, because it's, all that you're searching for that self-validation over and over again.
Right.
So that's a dangerous place. That's why people are being wise to stay away. So a lot of times when I'm looking at others' Instagram, I'm like, okay, well, I just watched you play 15 seconds of 100 songs. I'm the idiot that sat through it. And I don't even know why I'm entertained by your face. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then, you know what I mean?
Well, that's especially like TikTok, I find, like, because that's the one I don't like. I'm overloaded, and then like through our work, you end up being like, all right, I guess I gotta get on TikTok too, and you play around with it, and you realize, like, all right, so what exactly is TikTok offering? It's like really snapshot, quick, everything's quick and out, including music. And then you like kind of realize, like, was that musician good? Because like I couldn't tell if it was just a TikTok song or if it was just
did he learn the first verse?
It got my attention, but I kind of like I needed to learn. I wanted more.
My biggest TikTok is I was practicing whipping posts, and I was recording it so I could listen later, but I had video recorded it, and I picked like the best 29 seconds of it, so it sounds like I sound like amazing for 29 seconds, and that one has like thousands of hits.
There you go.
It's total fake thing.
Nice work.
Thank you. I mean, I'm not amazing all the time, as you can tell. So.
I turned it off as soon as I knew the TikTok video was over. That's funny. What a great song Whipping Post is.
What a great song.
That's a second Allman Brothers reference, actually. You guys big fans?
A huge fan. Yeah. I grew up a big Deadhead. Parents went to shows, and my dad used to work. Was a Chicago firefighter and paramedic, and they would do the EMS coverage at Soldier Field for all the Dead shows, and he actually ended up missing the very last Jerry Garcia show. But they had an awesome record collection when I was a kid. Like, we didn't have like huge TV or whatnot, and they always had that stuff. My mom used to always say, like, she married my dad because he had an awesome stereo and a record collection way back in the day. So they had Allman Brothers, like Grateful Dead. I think I owe my dad probably 17 copies of Live at Fillmore. Because every time he'd get a new one, I'd jack it, and then he'd be like, where is it? Like, I don't know. And then I, of course, as a stupid teenager, would lose it, scratch it, dump it somewhere, and then he'd get a new one, and I'd hijack that from him. But that's what's cool about the band. It's like we do some of the Allman Brothers, the Grateful Dead stuff. It's like kind of like the name says, it's the apothecary. You can go get whatever you need for what ails you. With us.
I like
we'll do
that.
some blues. We'll do some reggae. We can do all that.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
It's good influences right there.
We had a guy named, I don't know if you saw this. I know, Dan, you were telling me off the air that you kind of did a binge of a lot of our shows, which is, I guess, what got you in here. So we're doing a good job with the website, gang. Thank you. But ncmhub.org, by the way, for those of you who are looking. But we had a guy named Gary Backstrom in here, who's an outstanding guitar player out of Gloucester, and he's been in several bands over the years. And he had said Derek Trucks. They were opening for Allman Brothers for a while, and he said like a lot of times you open for some of those bigger bands, especially when you're younger, and the opening acts just you don't even see them. You could be on a whole tour with them, and they might not even hang out with you. He said Derek Trucks would come out to every one of their opening acts, would watch them and take it in. Played with them a couple times. He said he was just the coolest guy in the world.
Derek Trucks got on
awesome.
stage at it was like 13 years old with the Allman Brothers. Like unreal guitar virtuoso. Like I mean, when you're related to all of them, I mean, I guess it's
That's so
at that
cool,
point, like
But it made him
that's so cool.
just down to earth. You know?
Imagine, like I played the Hazy stage with my brother's band.
Hazy stage. Which one's that again?
It's
That's
at
ringing
New
a bell.
Hampshire Pavilion.
The side stage.
Yeah.
I knew that. Okay, that's exactly where I went
It
to.
was
But
the
cool.
Sting concert.
Oh,
and he actually ran out there.
Sting?
But he was just going for a tantric run of some kind.
Oh.
And he was running through, and I happened to be playing bass, and it was very it was a self-conscious moment, I must say. So I was
You're
like,
singing, you're playing bass in front of
singing and
Sting.
playing
So you're playing Sting runs like kind of behind you.
He was going for a jog in the pavilion area, like where all the
Were there
shops
people
are
there
and
yet,
stuff.
or
No.
Okay, so you're sound checking or something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, and Sting jogs through.
He jogged on through, yeah.
He look at you, headphones in. What do you do?
I think he winked at. No, I think he gave me the okay. No, but I know he. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think he. He must. He definitely heard us though.
I think I would have been like, "Wow, Sting."
That was
Band stop.
Yes, it didn't
Like,
quite.
come on up and play a song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was actually the sound engineer that pointed it out that it was him.
Wow.
And it was very interesting. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
What a cool pre-show moment.
It was awesome too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the show was
It
awesome.
was unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a great one.
72 and wow.
Yeah.
And every woman, regardless of age, staring at him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. You're with me at the show, right? Who are you? What are you? Look at that. Yeah, it was amazing.
There's a Springsteen Sting story from like back in I think they were on one of those tours for for a good cause. I forget what it was, but and I'll try to keep it PG. But he goes, so I'm there, and I'm becoming close with this guy, and we've been talking every day for however many days. And I read this article in Rolling Stone about him and women, and he goes, huh. I wonder why he never told me that. It was fascinating. Apparently, he does pretty well for himself. But yeah, Sting 72 does not look 72.
No, he looked amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Was that this summer?
That was this summer, yeah. So, Jukebox Storm, that's my brother's band, and it was definitely a really fun show. But I went on a diet for like a couple of days after that. I was like, whoa, this guy's like, and his voice.
Yeah.
There was nothing on it too. He just had like one of those Backstreet Boy type like.
Oh yeah.
That was it. There was nothing in there. It was just straight, and it was just killer.
Beautiful voice.
It was unbelievable.
I think that actually Rolling Stone, that they just did the 100 best singers. Like Sting fans were like, the list is, who cares anyway? It's all subjective, right?
Right.
But the list came out and Sting wasn't on it, and his people.
Wow, that's amazing.
Like it's one of the
really?
ones that jumps out to me that like his people were not happy.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of them. There are a million that they missed.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
But,
that would be a hefty list. Yeah. So
the guitar players one wasn't solid either.
No,
I mean it was solid, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They're impossible to do. All right, let's keep it. Oh, what are those side stages like? Are those fun playing like before a big act?
So much fun.
That venue is great. I love that place.
That is my favorite concert venue.
Guilford, New Hampshire, right? Yeah.
Me and the wife will bring the kids up there. It's like family friendly. Like you always get in there early, check out the side stage.
Yeah.
Like, I've never
Everything. The
played up
parking's nice.
Yeah,
It's
parking.
I don't want to go anywhere else now.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Like, it is so. It's an hour and 15 minutes from Seabrook, Moholland. Like it's just. It's awesome. So it's like tucked into the Lakes region. You go to Weir's Beach before.
Yeah.
Like there's so much.
I always stay for an hour and check out the bands on that stage.
That was the thing, guys. There were at least 2,000 people at the end of the night because the engineer said you can't say you opened for Sting because you're on the side, but you can say you closed for Sting. And I was like, cool. I was like, we closed this thing. There was so many people. It was so awesome. And, just singing along, just just having a good time. It was really, really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was really, really fun. It was exhilarating. It was like 2 days of just exhilarating.
To come down.
Yeah. Then it was a good thing. It was a good thing because Monday was a couple days away. It was like so I was ready to hit it again. But yeah.
I imagine, man. All right, you guys are bringing the stories today. Those are some good ones we've had so far. We'll jump into another song here. We got Dan Fallon out of Laconia, Patrick Knott, Seabrook, New Hampshire zone. Go find these guys, whether it be duo style or with the band. Go find the projects and go online and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Social media. They'll eventually have it loaded up full scale with Dan in charge of the tech.
Yeah. God help us. Scary.
There's the pressure on you.
And this next song I just put out, so it's on Apple Music under Dan Fallon, and we're gonna do an acoustic version of it. So I'll put that one out after we record it too. So and they sound very, very different from each other. So
all right.
So
Dan Fallon and Patrick Knott live at Drew's house.
Kind of like about the Ukraine, all the craziness and stuff too, and like run, run, mama, run, I fear something bad. Daddy, load your gun, the planes are overhead. Tanks break cobblestones outside of the front door. Bottle rolls off the table, red wine on the floor. Ooh, I'll be waiting for you in our bed as the bombs fall on Stalingrad. Run, run, mama, won't you run? I know that it is time to leave. Daddy, find a place to hide for you and me. Sometimes it takes something bitter and sometimes something sweet. When you want to make it better, love is war indeed. Ooh, I'll be waiting for you in our bed as the bombs fall on Stalingrad. Ooh, I'll be waiting for you in our bed. Watch it all burn to rubble, waiting for you to come back. Fall on Stalingrad. I didn't mean to make things better. Didn't ever mean to make it bad. Oh, watch it all turn to rubble, waiting for you to come back. Run, run, and now mama, won't you run? Daddy, find a place to hide. There's an enemy breaking in the kitchen before she shoots. She looks me in my eyes. I never meant to make it anything but better. I didn't mean to make it better. I'll be waiting for you in our bed for you to come back as the bombs fall on Stalingrad.
Dan Fallon, Patrick Knott, Joppa Afternoon Drive, live at Drew's house here from our Newburyport studios. Another music show, another new one right there from Dan. It was very nice, Dan. Well done.
Thank you.
Obviously, yes, as you said, a heavy song.
Yeah, kind of like a fever dream of all that stuff.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
I kind of thought you did the Sting story intentionally. I felt a little Sting influence there.
No, well, they might have been, yeah, they might have been a little something.
got-
Yeah, there's something. Oh wow.
What do you got?
Sorry, I did copyright it, so we'll see what thing comes out. Whoa, man.
No.
Can I send you a few songs? You can give you a little feedback. Whoa, oh my goodness, he has a new song that may not sound anything like that at all.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's really cool.
well,
Yeah, very much influenced by Sting and the Police,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah.
Funny. I gave you chills. That's interesting.
That was really on point.
Sting. It's funny. I went through a period where I like the Police too.
Yeah.
But I went through a period where I actually enjoyed his solo stuff more.
Yeah,
His
soul
new stuff.
stuff's wonderful.
Yeah.
He's so good. And even the brand new stuff's awesome.
Yeah.
Really, really great.
I know. I've liked how he's gone as an artist. But
Yeah.
Dan, I ask a lot of first timers on the show this songwriting, playing live, recording. What's the order of like preference?
I write every day.
Is that
and-
what you love most? That's where we're starting, or?
For preference.
Yeah, that's what you enjoy the
that's
most.
a great question.
I know. That's what everybody says. It's very hard.
Playing
Yeah.
live is easy for me.
Playing
Out of
live.
all those, playing live.
Live for you? Okay.
100%.
I think playing live,
Yeah,
definitely.
okay.
But I do love the process and the pain and the suffering that goes through it all, and the good things that come out of it all.
Yeah.
And but I do write every day, every single day. So I've written like over 1,200 songs.
Is that right? Wow.
I write for Songs of Love too. So I've written several, like many songs for them. It's an organization that does custom songs for kids with cancer, leukemia. We get like a Make-A-Wish kind of stuff. That you do a custom song for the kids. So I've done quite a lot.
Oh, wow,
songs
yeah.
for them, and that was actually like I've been doing that for many years. But it was a really interesting thing because I never finished songs before I started doing that.
Yeah.
And so it was so beneficial on two sides because try to keep myself out of hell if
Yeah.
I can, and anything will help. But you used to put a lot of joy in the kids' faces, and you have to finish it within a time frame.
Yeah, deadlines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have deadlines. So
Yeah.
and then you want to.
And that's probably a horrible term if there's sick people. I don't know why I said that.
Well,
That's not what I meant. But yeah.
So it's like but you want to get it done, for
Yeah.
all, and you want to get it. You want to get it as professional sounding as possible, and
Yeah.
it's been really, really rewarding actually. And my band, the Dan Fallon band, we did the last song just a couple, I think it was a couple months ago actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we did a full band production. It was like 24 tracks with like everything, like with the trombone, trumpet,
Right.
and it is awesome.
Nice.
It came out so crazy.
That is
Oh
good.
my goodness! I was like, whoa! Like, it was really, really good. And then we'll do one with the Apothecary too. We'll do a song together for the kids. It's just nothing. There's nothing like it. When you a lot of times you don't hear anything back, but then when you do hear it back,
Yeah. From like other family members too, or
from
even the
family.
person in.
It goes through the director of Songs of Love, and then they tell you what happened, and then they'll send like an email or a video or something, and it's pretty awesome.
That's powerful,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah,
It's
there is something to learning how to finish something too, as just for your own work.
Yeah.
Because I was just having this conversation with a writer in our newsroom today, and we have a deadline. It's a deadline because it's not perfect, but it's good. That'll get you there. That's
Yes.
where you need to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to go for perfect here. Just
And that's a really big thing
Yeah.
for a lot of people. Just especially when you're just putting yourselves out there and you're putting things
Yeah.
just out in the public. You want it to be as perfect as you can, but
yeah.
it's never.
Sometimes there's no always. Sometimes there is no
That's the
perfect.
hardest thing for me is finishing stuff. I feel like I
Yeah.
write lyrics better with like a partner. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can sit back and go like line for line. And it's just for me more creative that way. Like I can come up with licks all
Yeah.
day long.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So with the band, a lot of times I'll bring a lick. Dan's like, I got words for that.
Yeah.
Great, it's
Those are the best albums of all time. Like if
Yeah.
they didn't have people that were screaming at them to release the thing, these artists would have held on to them forever. You
And I
know.
think, didn't they record that over like 7 days?
Oh,
or
I
something?
think yeah, and then sometimes there's that.
Yeah.
Crash course album. Yeah.
But they it's just the thing about the other kind of cool thing about it is that it makes you a little bit less judgmental of your own work because you're thinking of the audience.
Yep.
You're thinking, and I'll like with the kid songs. if the kid likes robots and dinosaurs and farts, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Johnny likes robots, dinosaurs, and farts, and I throw it in.
Yeah.
So then when you're writing your own stuff, and it's like my own stuff's kind of sometimes brutal, just even to perform.
Yeah.
Just because it's like there's emotions in there. I'm not sure what's going on. It's like a stew.
Yeah.
And then you're listening to it. You can just judge you can be so judgmental that you won't publish it. But it was funny, the one that I just played for you, I was not happy with the recording.
Yeah.
And I spent like 16 hours or so, give or take, which isn't a big deal. But I deleted all the source files when I was going to go fix it. And I was like, oh man, I'm not going to do all that again. I'll just publish it. So I published the first draft.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've done that a few times now because I couldn't find a file or something.
Yeah.
I'll just publish it and see what happens.
I heard Neil Young recently talk. I think I forget what show he was on, but he's talking about how one of their major hits with Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, and the host was giving him, it might have been Howard Stern, but was giving him that's you at the beginning, that guitar riff, right? He's like, yeah. Well, you should have heard the first take, and he's like, it always annoyed me with playing with the band because we were like so many times we would try to be striving for perfection, and I'm like, man, every time we counted off and go, that's the best one, And so I don't know, it's just interesting to hear. That's the only thing that stuck with him about whatever song they were talking about was I wish we kept the first one, But I don't know. Neil Young for you.
Wow.
A little mysterious.
Very much. Yeah, that's amazing. Yes.
I was going to ask you too. Yeah, because I had heard about like a lot of people during the pandemic started making a business off of like same structure but like more quirky. Can you write a song for my girlfriend, or I'm going to get engaged? Can you get me do like something lighthearted way to stuff like that? But that seems like a whole nother level, man. That level of making somebody's day.
I used to do it's like it's all for charity, that one. But I used to do like, as I write so much, I would if I was playing at someone's wedding and I knew anything about them, I would write a song for them. And I was like, oh, I'll write them a wedding song and they'll love it.
So you've channeled that into something a lot kind of more.
The thing is, I'll write like it's like a snapshot. Like when I listened to you sing one of your songs and I heard like how your head voice registers, I started to write a song.
Oh.
I was like, it's very easily inspired by something that makes me like something. You know what I mean? It'll be. I didn't finish it yet. Otherwise, I would have.
Play my song, man.
A lot of times that's what it is. Like some of the best ones I like the most. Because I'm a nobody, but the ones I like the most are like when I met somebody. And it may be literally like what actually happened. It might be like a literal snapshot. But it comes out kind of cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the metaphorical stuff, like the players they'll challenge me, like the next song that we're gonna play, they challenge me to not write a love song.
Yes.
So they challenged me to not write a love song. So I was like, in the other band, they challenged me to not write a love song. So I was like, okay, I'll not write a love song. I'll let you judge if it's a love song or not. You know what I'm saying?
It's probably an example of the band making you a better solo artist in your own way too, or a better songwriter maybe.
Yes.
Before I let you go, I do like to come full circle too, because I get the whole news side of me too, and I'm always curious. I know not everybody talks about it, but since we opened the door to it, is there one story that people, when they ask you about your service, that you say you wouldn't believe it if you weren't there, and you always tell?
So I think it's a story that I always tell to everyone. It's kind of hard to believe, I guess, but it happens all the time over there. I ended up hitting an IED over there. I'm a Purple Heart veteran, and we've been sitting on the side of the road for like close to 10 hours because we had found an Army convoy found an IED, and we had to wait for EOD to come out and clear the road. So EOD's all up in Haditha, and they're busier than hell, so it takes them a while to get to us. So they come out, they blow the IED, Army convoy leaves, we're all going in the same direction, and they were like, all right, you're clear to go. My truck rolled like less than a mile, it was like 2 kilometers, and I hit a pretty large IED, and then subsequently sat on the side of the road with a brain injury, and went back and finally got back to base. Somehow, some way, my lieutenant never called a medevac. I got blasted back to my first deployment. I'm like, where's Sergeant Armstrong? They're like, dude, he's in Indiana. He got out after our first tour. And I'm like, wow. Oh man, no, he was in the truck with me, and that was October 24th of 2007. And so we get back to base, they throw me in a Humvee, and they're like, keep him awake. So my buddy's like pumping me with cigarettes to keep me awake. I'm blood coming out of my ears, and we get back to base, and my corpsman like is screaming at the lieutenant, like, why have we not taken this guy to the hospital yet?
Oh my goodness.
And so he like commandeers a Humvee and takes me to the base hospital. We walk in, and they're like, what the F happened to you? Why was this never reported? Why was this never like brought to our attention?
So excuse my I just want to make sure I get it right. So you're in a tanker or whatever.
I'm in a big up. They're called 7 tons. They're the big high trucks, and I'm the lead vehicle of the convoy. I was the scout vehicle commander. We're numero uno on the roll.
And you're like inside this thing. It's just closed down.
Yeah, it's closed down. We've got a turret up top, and I've got what was called a Panama City mine roller on the front of the truck. It's an arm that sticks out like 10 feet with big metal plates and wheels. So if you hit a pressure plate or a mine, it goes off in front of you instead of underneath. And my gunner was driving the truck. My driver was up in the gunner's seat. I was because we'd been on the road so long. I think we'd been on the road for close to like 16 hours at this point. Wow. Sitting on the road for 12, just rotating through, and we were finally like cleared to go, and we went. And the road came down to a narrow. They've got these things called wadis out there. They're like dried up riverbeds. Yeah. And so there's like a 60-foot drop on either side of the road. And how my driver kept it on the road, my boy George Buckhold, I'll give you a plug. Yeah, Buck Nasty down there in Florida, and Big Red Bentram riding in the old Reaper 1. So it was, we used to call it recon by roller. You had to sometimes roll stuff over, and we didn't get pushed off the side of the road. I ended up making it to the hospital, but they didn't know a ton, I guess, about brain injuries back then. So
you just kept driving through?
So the truck had to be towed out of there. They had to fix the mine roller. Like, I'm put in the back of a Humvee, like I'm kaput, like I'm speaking gibberish. They took my weapon away from me. They're like, yeah, you're not gonna carry this for the next. It'll be in with us. And we got back, and I spent like a week in the hospital, then a week on bed rest, and then 2 weeks after, I was back in the lead vehicle commander spot in the truck. And
after a brain injury.
Yeah, the migraines and stuff, but they needed bodies, and they didn't know if it would have happened, let's say today, they probably would have sent me to Germany or whatnot.
Yeah.
But,
what year was that?
This was October 24th of 07.
Okay.
And then
we had a lot going on there at that time.
Yeah. Then we went down to the Saudi Arabian border. It was the first time they're going to open the country to let people cut through for the Hajj, because Muslim population goes to Mecca. Okay. And during the war, they had to go around Iraq. So they're like, you're going to do security down there for this. So we were down there on this little tiny base that they built up out of Saddam's old airfield. And so we do foot patrols to this town in Aqab, and they brought in like the biggest sheik in the entire region. He was like the Saudi Arabian sheik, which is like their high level. Nothing gets done without the sheik's approval. Like that goes through them. And we ended up we're there again, providing coverage for the intel guys and the officers that had to meet this guy. We're just a ground soldier. And we ended up getting to rotate in and eat with this like world famous sheik, like sheep head on a platter, like some of the best food I've ever had in my life. In the middle of the desert. So
that's
wild. It was a wild time in my life. 04 to 08, and then I re-enlisted and did 08 to
re-enlisted after all that.
To 2013.
Man,
so, I mean,
different breed.
My first sergeant used to say, "Not you're the only kid I know that could get a brain injury and get smarter." So I got that going for me.
You doing well?
Yeah, doing all right. Well, I go to the VA. I take care of myself. You got to admit that you have PTSD and issues. And I think the VA out here in Boston's been awesome. I go to Bedford. They've taken good care of me. And I call them up. And it's really, to me, it's about talking about it. Like, I can get on a radio show here and tell everyone my story. For a while, I couldn't. But this is like, to me, I can tell anybody. They're like, why are you so open? I'm like, because if I keep it in, like, no good can come from this. So it's I got a different outlook on life. Like, I go to work. Nobody shoots at me. Like, fires can be dangerous. EMS work can be, but like, I just smile on my face. Like, feels so good to be alive.
Yeah,
Like,
well, we're
right-
lucky
like,
to have
right
you,
there,
brother. We're lucky
it's-
to have you.
it's
Very
great
nice.
playing music. So.
Yeah, band arguments are nothing anymore,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
Nobody argues with him anyway.
They wait till I leave.
What was it like? Yeah, what was it like when you heard Saddam died? That was, or was captured? I guess is probably the big moment,
so that
right?
was right before I joined. I went to boot camp in 04, and I think
04,
they
yeah.
captured him in 04, I believe. That was
Is that
my
the
dad was a
timeline, yeah?
firefighter. So when the Twin Towers came down, I was a freshman or sophomore.
Yeah.
And we knew those New York guys. He used to come to Chicago and march in the Irish parade with us.
Yeah.
My dad was I'd never seen my dad cry before. It hit him. And I was like, well, I'm going to join the service, and this is kind of like what my path was at the time. And you go around the sun so many times, it's funny, like what you know now. And back, I would do the whole thing over again, brain injury and everything, because I've come out on the other side pretty good. But
That is quite a
set me
statement
up
right
for
there.
success. I learned a lot.
I
in a
bet.
short period of
I bet
time.
you did. Well, thank you for your service again, Dan Fallon. Thank you for putting this together. A very enjoyable show for me. They all are, but but I enjoyed it very much meeting you guys for the first time. Let's book it again. We'll make sure we do it. I always try to lock people in.
Yep.
I'm
Absolutely.
gonna get you guys on again. I know you guys are gonna play us out with one more shout out to our crew: Sarah Blackstone, Ryan Rothberg, Sarah Hayden, our small but mighty crew here in Newburyport. Our first music show of the year has been a fantastic one. I hope you enjoyed the music. Hope you enjoyed the stories. Dan Fallon, Patrick Knott. My name's Drew Moholland, live at Drew's house. Joppa Afternoon Drive. Happy New Year, everybody. Be well.
And thank you very much, Drew. And it's an honor and a privilege to be here. And thank you for everything you do for the music community and just community in general. If anybody wants to take a look at the playlist on the
NCMHub.org.
it's unbelievable. Hundreds and hundreds, 400, over 400, maybe almost 500.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and so it's really great. Thank you very much.
Too kind of you, sir. Thank you, Dan.
So danfallonmusic.com, you'll see all the gigs. You'll see Apothecary. You'll see my other band, funk reggae. That's what it's all about. And this one was co-written by. I just want to give him a shout out. He's very, very shy, so I got to give him a shout out. Dave Maxwell, great guitar player. And he wrote the music. This riff that we're gonna play, and it's called Honey.
Thanks, everybody.
Honey, I just wanna make honey. I just wanna get high. Ain't it beautiful to fly, Lord? All of this nectar sweet is just for my queen. Sometimes she gentle, boy. Sometimes she stings. Is it time to call her nice? Is it time to die? All the other boys have run away in an apocalypse tonight. Oh, honey, yeah. I just wanna make honey. I just wanna get high. Ain't it beautiful to fly, love? Ain't it good to fly? When you're a honeybee, you don't have to think. Mama gonna do it all for you now. Eat, sleep, and drink. Did you say it's time for me to lay down or die? Baby, I just wanna colonize in an apocalyptic sky. Oh, honey, yeah. I just wanna make honey, yeah. And I just wanna get high. Oh, yes, I do. Ain't it good to fly, Lord? Ain't it good to fly, Lord? Take us a little. It's what I say. Oh, Sally, Lord, I can't believe my eyes. Oh, Sally, I cried like 5-10 times. Oh, Sally, my world is into my eyes, and
just wanna fly with you, girl, and I just wanna get high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't it good to make you honey? Make honey, baby, make honey and get high. Yes, I do, yes, I do.